Sometimes it takes us a while to find Appalachia, especially if you're living in a city like Akron. And sometimes it takes us years, and experience, and good active listening to just know how important Appalachia is in our lives. I read you this poem, Herb Band, Appalachia. Scrambling in the old rust-ridden Ford station wagon, we would speed on the highway from Akron, Ohio to Clay County, West Virginia, the only place we traveled as kids. The crisp road would begin as one lane and then two. The new speedway hearkened to us with bright lights and sales on cigarettes, making a sharp right turn into 2 lanes, the neighboring car racing us to be first to an unknown destination. Next turn, 4 lanes, farms dissipate, no animals except dead ones face up on the sides. The people contained in motorized boxes blaring sounds that we could not hear. Windows open, our voices stolen by fierce racing air. Like clockwork, my mother slowed down, stopped the car, and asked us 6 wild kids to slow down, and look to the left. We slowed down. We had to. The car was not moving. To the left, barely seen from the highway, it looked like a sorry stripe, hardly a road at all. No pavement, markers, overgrown with grass, cut off from the rest of the world. There it stood, Old Route 33, Old Route 33. Along with our view of the road, we would hear the stories. Back then it was the road that travels from Clay County to the rubber capital. The Goodyear where my dad labored 16 hours a day. Back then it was an escape road where a young bride could run away with a new husband, where Exxon sold gas and it could be 100 miles before the next filling station. Bottled Coke and nickel candy would be passed in a new Dodge Dart. The same Dart was so newfangled, it took a push on big buttons to start it. The wonder of the world right in our car. The wonder of the world right in our car. Back then, my mother's long hair flew out the window as my dad joked about staying there forever. But I never rode on that road. And by the time the Dart was parked in our house, my mother kept her hair up with bobby pins. The Dart barely ran, the buttons stuck, remaining immobile in our driveway. I would never travel Old Route 33. Highway had no connecting road, bridge, walkway, pathway, or dirt trail. In fact, my mother coldly said, the road don't work no more. The sign of Exxon is all that remains. Candy prices have risen to the price of gasoline. Coke is canned, and so is the road. No opener do I have for this road. In my teen years, I rejected the country. Pat Benatar rocked my 1977 354 barrel Cutlass Supreme. No time for Twitty, Nelson, or Jones. White Lightning stayed idle as AC/DC tore the lane lines in my veins. After all, I lived in Akron. We had rubber, soapbox, and classic rock. I wanted New York, the village. It was long past time Dylan broke the barrier with the electric guitar, and I was banging my head. With each knot, I was trying to forget where I was. Raised country? No, not me. I played with Atari 2600 and longed for the days when I could ride the Cutlass and not look back. But look back, I did, every night. The music ceased. The TV would be black as my mother would light the room with old tales told new ways. About Wavy's grocery store, Uncle Pete's time in Korea, how the mountains are being stolen, tales of Nell, the name of the old plug horse weren't no use, but they kept it anyway. And Alec West, my grandfather, who my mother said farmed dirt with love. I didn't want to listen, not for me. My veins filled with Clapton, Chapin, and Crosby. I wanted to forget ballads of Barbary Allen, neglect the fiddle, ditch the dulcimer, crank up something new. As much as I twisted, the roots of the Barbary briar stuck to me. That root known as Appalachia reaches so far to the ground that it's impossible to not become entangled. Pat Benatar tried her best shot to tie me up in her black leather pants, and I stole away from the mountains, tales and dialect to teach in Bakersfield, to endure the heart, but instead find Owens and Haggard. My cutlass is now gutless, like the push-button dart. My Ford Escort has taken me to the route to sip shine with popcorn in Tennessee, study theater in Danville, return to Clay, and spend tales in Jonesboro. Moving back to Ohio, I married the name she holds, Barbara Allen, and I love our entangled briars. Living as a Buckeye, I feel roots in the country. Urban Appalachia is what they call us. Urban, ban. What does it mean? Ban, to restrict, to withhold, to take away, to remove. Urban app. I wonder, is there an app for that? App, short for application or to apply. I refuse to be banned from where I'm from and how I was raised. I apply the grass that is blue as Monroe and Watson served to raise my roots. I refuse to ban the jacktails that seal up the northwest wind and certainly cross the rubber bowl capital of the world. Let the water of Troublesome Creek and the Bakersfield dirt and the Nolichucky River help me grow as I apply my roots in Cleveland soil or the dirt of California. I refuse to be banned or withheld, knowing my great-uncles were killed in the mines near Morgantown, or that John Henry was indeed real. Whether I'm in Columbus or the Cumberland Gap, the hills call to me. After all, as the sage known as my mother said, under the buildings there are dirt, and the hill people had a hand in watching them grow.